PlayStation reminds everyone why physical media is so important, Fortnite's Big Bang event lives up to its name, and Sega teases a whole new era. I'm Ash Dixon, and this is GINX News. Being one of those people complaining about the decline of physical media can be pretty exhausting, not only because it feels like a losing battle, but also because it makes you feel like the literal personification of the old man yells at cloud meme. Well, Sony has now proven that we're rambling on for good reason. You see, over on the PlayStation Store, there was a huge collection of Discovery TV shows, hundreds of seasons worth in fact. Mythbusters, Deadliest Catch, How It's Made. Classics. It was all right there, ready to go. And they weren't just available on some kind of subscription service. Users had the choice to outright buy these shows. And admittedly, while I imagine most people don't buy TV shows on their consoles, those who do probably do so with the impression that it's theirs to keep. Well, according to Sony, that ain't the case. They've started sending out a message to those people saying that as of the 31st of December, not only will all of that content be unwatchable, it will also be removed from their video library. And to really pour salt on the wound, they sign off the message with, "We sincerely thank you for your continued support." That's a very strange way of saying, sorry that we're being assholes. Now, some people are blaming Warner Brothers for this. They recently merged Discovery and HBO Max into simply Max, which is a choice, and it's likely this change that has brought up the licensing issues. But either way, you don't let people buy Shark Week and then take away Shark Week. That's just Disney villain levels of evil. And I think it's important that Sony doesn't get let off the hook here too, because they originally agreed to a deal that didn't give users in perpetuity access to the content, and they also sold it giving off the impression that that was the case. It's particularly frustrating as there's not exactly any alternatives either. It's not like they sell Blu-ray box sets of Naked and Afraid of Love, you know, the naked survival dating show. Yes, this is a real show. And you might be sitting there thinking, these are just TV programs. I'm a gamer. As long as I get to keep my games, I'm happy. But you would be downright silly to think this ain't on the cards for you too. We already have tons of subscription services, and this is gaming companies we're talking about. Think about all of the money they would make if you had to subscribe to a new service to access a game you had already paid for. Ultimately, it serves as a reminder that when you buy these things online, you don't own it. You simply own access to it, and that access can get pulled. And considering the trend of consoles without disk drives, you can bet it's only going to get worse. The Big Bang Fortnite event kicked off over the weekend, and boy, was it big. It was essentially a 10-minute long interactive trailer, and I mean, damn, don't get me wrong, Fortnite really ain't my thing, but 10-year-old me would think this is possibly the coolest thing ever. For those out of the loop, the event marked the launch of Chapter 5, waving goodbye to the hugely successful OG map and welcoming in a whole load of new gameplay modes and features. Perhaps the biggest addition is all the damn LEGO content. Now, a crossover had been suspected for ages, but a lot of people assumed it would just be a couple of skins. But no, there's a whole LEGO game, and it looks pretty damn crazy. It's a new open world mode where players build their way through a crafting survival adventure, and it feels like we've gone full circle. People always called Minecraft video game LEGO, well, it seems now that LEGO is getting its very own version of Minecraft. That's out on December 7th, and perhaps what's most impressive is the sheer amount of content they've added. In fact, over 1,200 Fortnite skins are getting LEGO variations, and what's better is that they're completely free if you own the OG skin. Now, part of me thinks that should just be expected, but also the bar is so low these days, it would not have surprised me if they went and charged $8 a pop. We also got a glimpse of the new Rocket Racing mode. It's the new spin on Epic's other hit game Rocket League, with developer Psyonix helping out with the project, and it's essentially Fortnite's very own action racer, packed with drifting, turbos, and all sorts of gravity-defying stunts. And it's all kind of strange because these are all essentially new free-to-play games in their own right, but within Fortnite. So what is Fortnite now? A platform? A metaverse? It's all rather confusing. And last but not least, the Big Bang event closed out with a live Eminem concert. Although when I say live, I mean players could all tune in together for the premiere, although Eminem wasn't in some virtual suit performing live. In fact, I'm curious how much Eminem actually did other than receive a fat paycheck. Don't get me wrong, the whole sequence was super cool and Epic made it cinematic as hell, but it was just recorded tracks of Lose Yourself and Godzilla. Oh, and they added this little Guitar Hero style minigame, which was nice, perhaps a hint at something else coming in the future. Either way, I'm keen to know your thoughts. Were you impressed by the event? Perhaps you don't play Fortnite, but one of those new game modes caught your eye. Let us know in the comments down below. The Game Awards are a few days away, and Sega are whetting our appetites with a new tease. A Twitch streamer who goes by the name of Curious Joy posted this video where she shared a letter that Sega had sent to her, telling her that they're bringing in a new era with new energy. whatever that means. We can only speculate for now, but with Fortnite basically popping off to become some kind of metaversy monster, we could be seeing a huge shift in Sega's outlook. And you know me, I like a little speculation, so I'm gonna speculate. So apparently this letter was sent to quite a few content creators, but one interesting note is that a lot of them were fighting game streamers. Meanwhile, others who streamed Sonic almost exclusively didn't receive it. So the logic is that maybe Sega are developing a fighting game of some kind. Virtual Fighter 6 perhaps? Super Sega Brothers? Capcom versus Sonic? I don't know. Sega have also announced that they're making a super game that will be coming out in 2026, so it could all be tying into that. Apparently they're investing hundreds of millions of dollars into it, and considering it's set to span multiple AAA titles and, quote, go beyond the traditional framework of games, perhaps this will be our first look at that. There will be those just wishing for a return to simpler times. We're trending towards better Sonic games again too, so let's not lose that, please. And is it really too much to ask for a Skies of Arcadia remake? I know there's a niche bunch of us people who want to see a Dreamcast 2, but I'm a simple man with simple pleasures, so bring it, Sega. We'll of course be covering all the details when they drop in a few days, so here's a good opportunity to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Speaking of things to come, a new trailer has dropped giving us a first look at the second season of Halo. And it's an interesting one because while the first season definitely wasn't as good as everyone was hoping, it wasn't bad enough that people have given up hope just yet. After all, Halo is a beloved franchise and a lot of people want to love the show. I binged the first season myself while I was isolating with COVID, and while it was ripe with questionable creative choices, once I accepted that it was just going to be some filler 7 out of 10 show, I was able to enjoy it for what it was, which is reflected in the fact that looking back, I can't really remember what happened too much. It literally came out last year, but all I remember is that there was some funky alien artifact and that the Master Chief got laid. Perhaps such creative decisions wouldn't have been so easy to shrug off if I was a die-hard fan, but going by the positive comments in the trailer, there definitely seem to be people who are open to giving it one last shot. Let us know if you plan to watch it down in the comments. And that's the show. You've already helped us out massively watching up to this point, so why not like and subscribe while you're here to really seal the deal. If crazy Let's Plays and in-depth video game documentaries are your thing, there's 2 other channels that we have to check out in the description down below. Otherwise, check out Friday's news somewhere around here, and we'll see you tomorrow.